Hi, I've been asked recently about the setup gauge I use on my planer thicknesser. It's very simple. It came with the machine and it references off the cutter block and gives you the ideal height for the blades. I give you the dimensions of my gauge, which works with the 63mm diameter cutting block in my machine. I know my machine is just a Chinese copy of a design which has been used around the world and produced in tens of thousands, so hopefully it will be of use to some of you. Of course, if you have a machine with a different size cutting block or tables at different heights, then you may need to adjust the diameter of the arc you produce on the gauge and also the height at which the blade sits. But once set up correctly, it makes for resetting your blades very quickly and very easily. On my machine, the blades are supported by 3 grub screws which are used to raise and lower their heights. Other machines will have the blade sitting on springs, and that makes it a little bit easier. The gauge is placed with the ends of its arc resting on the cutter block, and the little notch which is taken out for the blade height is set over the middle of the knife. Then if you're on springs, you just press the gauge down so it contacts the cutter block on both ends of the arc and tighten your blade up. With my machine, I set the blades low on the grub screws, then place the gauge over the knife and gradually adjust the grub screws to bring the knife up to touch the gauge mark. I start by setting one end of the knife, then the opposite end, and then check in the middle. Once I'm happy, I tighten the knife in to the cutter block. Repeat with the second knife on the block, and if you have 3 knives, with the third knife. It's as simple as that. Check the accuracy by running a piece of lumber through the thicknesser and checking the thickness on each edge. Some machines are not quite set up accurately, and you will find that even though your knives are set correctly to the block, that one edge of your lumber comes out slightly thicker than the other side. Check your machine to see whether you can adjust the table height of the thicknesser, one side or the other, to correct that inaccuracy. Where that's not possible, you can slightly adjust the projection of your knives from the cutter block, which should allow you to true things up.